Um, I mean, it's really with this group now being an extension of him. I've had a lot of talks with Nate since he took over as head coach. I just know what he expects out of this group. I know, we have the same goal, and that's to turn this, back around and get us back to the top and competing for a championship. But I think it's just being the voice, being the true leader, whether it's vocally or by actions. I plan on doing so both ways.
Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Now that the window is open, what is your position on the whole contract extension situation? Would you prefer to go ahead and get it done? Do you want to wait? What is your position?
I mean, right now, man, this is all about the season. I'm not even thinking about contract stuff. It's all about the season. I got a new group, new opportunity, fresh start, unbelievable talent. Everything heart and soul is going into this season. And, contract-wise, that'll happen.
Is this the best team you've had since those teams that went to your conference finals?
I think it's back to having that versatility. I think with back when we had D. West, Roy, that was a great unit. It's hard to, I don't want to jump the gun too early and say this is the best team I've been on, but it definitely could shape up to be.
What have you seen? I know you haven't been here for all the workouts the guys have been here for, but what have you seen so far from the talent this year?
Look good. I think Glenn's going to be a huge surprise this year. Joe's look amazing. Again, Glenn's looked amazing. Miles has looked amazing. You can really tell these young guys have been here for a while and, really dedicated to getting better. It was just amazing being in Rio and, still reaching out to the team, and they're still together and they're working out. And, this is way in, July. I was pretty surprised that everybody showed up and everybody was back to work. So you kind of just get a feel of what, how big this season and what this season means to these guys this year.
How will the style of play change from the past, and how will that affect your performance?
Hopefully we get a little faster. Hopefully we can push the ball. I know with Jeff, he's great at being a coast-to-coast guy. I haven't played with a coast-to-coast point guard to that extent, so I'm excited. Hopefully he opens the game up for me and make it as easy as possible for me.
Paul, there's a hierarchy of stars in the NBA. There's the couple, 3, 4, whatever MVP guys, and there's, 10, 20 others.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've been the other star, but are you ready to can you become the next level, the last level?
I personally thought I was with that group. Excuse me for you not being on the same page, but nah, man. I've always challenged myself and wanted to be, a part of the best. I've always seen myself as that next level talent, and I think this is really, my first opportunity to really prove, that I'm ready for the task of being the for sure best player on the court each night.
Paul, has your success with Team USA affected your approach at all to this season?
It has. It has. When you're being, when you're with a group of guys that are the best of their team and are just so many personalities, but you guys find a way to still win. Given what's going on, everybody having agendas and whatnot. You could bring that to a team, and I think just winning and having a winning attitude, being with USA, really translate to like now. I know what to expect. I can't say I've won it. Clearly, I haven't won a championship, but just winning a gold medal, that brings an attitude to you, and I think I can bring that to this team.
The level that you reached in the playoffs, is that sustainable over the course of the regular season?
Yeah, it is. I prepared. I think during the playoffs, things just slowed down, and that that transcends. I think yearly I get better. I figure things out. I learn more. I've always been a student of this game, and it's going to continue to progress.
Paul, from your perspective today, what was the impact of that injury, having to sit out almost an entire season? Hate to say it was a good thing, but did you see a lot of benefits from that as you look back on it now?
Yeah. I mean, I became a better basketball player for sure. That whole time off, I was able to shoot a lot. I was able to work on my ball handling. I think a lot of the small stuff, is where I made the biggest improvements on. But that year off definitely paid dividends to my progression where I'm at now for sure.
Paul, how many conversations have you had with me once you was promoted to now, and what were the tones, sort of the themes of those conversations?
Me and Nate probably talked about 5 or 6 times. Pretty long talks too. And it's pretty much just telling me what he expects out of me, what he expects out of this team, what attitude I need to bring, the professionalism I need to bring. I'm the longest pacer here, and he wants me to be the example of what this program needs to look like and what this program needs to be. That's really what he made very clear to me is, he's relying on me. And, this team, doesn't do anything unless, I'm doing it the right way.
Paul, how do you think Monte and Jeff can play the same backcourt together, considering both of them kind of need the ball in their hands to be effective as speedy guards?
I think it won't be that big of a deal at all. Both of them, Monte don't have no problem playing off the ball. I think Jeff would like opportunities to play off the ball. Jeff is a very underrated shooter, and really we could space the floor around Monte. Monte's so well at attacking and creating and getting the seams, as well as Jeff. I think they'll play great off one another. And I for sure have a lot of easy looks by them too, just attacking and playing their game. So one thing I told those two is just, I encourage you guys to, just take over at will. I'll find my ways. I'll fit in. I'm not worried about my game. I just need those two attacking every night.
Well, you mentioned that you don't want to jump the gun, but this could be the most talented team that you've had. How much of that depends on Miles?
A lot of it depends on Miles. He's one of our 3, 4, options that we're going to look at. I'm sure all season. But we got to understand it's only his second year. If he make progressions the same way he did his rookie year, we'll be fine.
Well, a year ago, you were pretty obviously not thrilled about the idea of playing more 4. A year later, coaches said you may still play a little bit of 4. Have your attitude changed on playing smaller?
No, at this point, it's whatever that's needed. I see the league. When I made that decision, it was because I was coming off of injury. I wasn't ready for that beating. A year, from that, from those talks, I feel a little better about it. I know it won't be for a whole game. I won't start out at the position. It'll be strictly, minutes, a couple minutes here and there. I'm fine with it. If I got to play the 4, so be it.
Paul, what's the challenge of putting this group together? You got a lot of experience, but it's a new coach and new guys. What's the challenge here in this camp?
Challenge is just buying in day one. I think that's another thing that's been so great with USA basketball is, day one, we don't have a long time to get on the same page, but day one, everyone is attentive, everyone is dialed in. We understand the main picture and what is asked of us. I think we got to bring that to a training camp tomorrow. It can't be a guy that's complaining. It can't be a guy that's doesn't want to do this, doesn't want to do that. I'm hoping tomorrow is the hardest day that we have. Just because we need to set the standard and start the season off right.
Paul, you're running tomorrow, apparently. Sounds like Nate gave the option of you.
You heard, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to run. It starts with me. I'm going to run. I'm not excited about it, but, how can I get on my teammates if I'm not on the line?
What have you done since the Olympics? Have you been able to maintain conditioning or games to come off?
Yeah, I took some time off. Immediately after winning the gold, I went straight to daddy mode. I took some time off, spent a lot of time with my daughter. I'm not in the best shape, but I'm in shape, ready enough for training camp.
Well, how much, speaking of challenges, maintaining the defensive integrity that this team has had for so long, will that be as critical to anything as bonding or talent or any of that?
Yeah, I mean, as much as offensively we want to be great, we got to be great defensively as well. I think all of that plays a role. We still got DB here, Dan Burke, who's one of the best defensive coaches. So we have that DNA still here. I think, we have better defenders. Thad's an underrated defender. Miles is a great defender. Monte's a great, defender. Myself, Jeff's been a great defender. So we just can't be lazy. I think with this group we can have slippage, but laziness can't be one of it. Yeah, it does. It does. I've had some great moments this far. I'm just looking forward to creating some new ones.
Do you feel like you're entering a new chapter of your career this season?
Yeah. Just dating or going back to just being the longest pacer here now. This is definitely a different stage, and it's the same role I've had last year, but it's me being the only one to share or no one to share that burden of taking on the team. It's a little different.
Well, how important is it for you to see that this team can have consistent success moving forward for your long-term vision?
Say that again.
How important is it for you to see that this team can get back to having consistent success?
That's real important. That's real important. I mean, it's the season is night and day in terms of when you're successful, when you're playing well, you're doing things the right way. I've been on teams being number one in the East and been on struggling teams. We're gonna be together for a year. Let's make the most of it. It sucks going through a year where it's just so much stress factor that plays along with not being a good team. So while I'm here, that's definitely number one on my list is always being competitive.
Well, how'd you find out about the Jet team trade? I mean, I'm sure you were excited to get a player of his caliber, but thoughts about George Hill moving on? What was your initial thoughts about that?
Well, it was just a tough moment. I remember waking up in the morning and my phone just going off. Reading George Hill's been traded, and then I didn't even know it was for Jeff at the time. I just knew George was leaving. So I called George. We talked, and he broke the news that it wasn't a rumor; it was serious. And then to find out we got him for Jeff, was great. Another hometown hero. But it's hard. It's hard to lose guys that you've been in this thing for so long with. George is practically my neighbor, so it's going to be some changes. It's going to be some differences, but glad to have an all-star point guard. And it's not like we traded George for nothing. We got a point guard that's been number one in the East as well, and he wanted to come back. He wanted to come back home and play for his city as well. So. If we had to lose George, I'm happy we were able to get something for him.
Any bumps, bruises, pains entering camp for you?
No, I feel great. Body feels amazing. It's the most excited I've been since my rookie year.
Paul, speaking of losing guys, how monumental is losing Jan to the defense? Kind of the quarterback at the front door of the defense there, and I don't think a lot of people realize how successful he was in there in the paint, facing the rim.
Yeah. I think it's definitely going to be different. It's something that we're trying to teach Miles. Jan is from that era with Roy, where protecting the basket without picking up fouls was so vital. That's what we're trying to get Miles towards. Jan is as good as it gets as rim protectors. So if we can get Miles playing that same style, and have him better understand that sometimes you can't block everything. I think that's the biggest fault. Miles protecting the rim is, he tries to go and get everything, which is good, but he picks up a lot of fouls that way. What made Jan so special is he knew how to protect it without getting fouls.
Paul, have you seen changes in Monte Ellis since the game of last season in his either his body, his mindset, or whatever? Because he's going to have a difficult this season. What do you expect from him?
I expect the vintage Monte. We've been talking all summer, and he said it's the best he's felt since his Golden State days. So, I've been with him last year, and I knew he was battling a lot of stuff. He wasn't fully healthy, but one thing about him is he's a dog. He played every single game this last season. And I knew what was going on. I knew his body couldn't hold up, but he still was out there every night. I'm looking forward to him, really exploding this year and having that explosiveness again.
You saw the Tamika's final regular season game. Obviously, you spent some time with her in Rio. You guys have probably been closer over the years. Does it kind of give you a little perspective as you're talking about the second part of your career to see how someone like her has kind of rode off in the sunset? Does it kind of give you some perspective as a kind of legacy, I guess, that you could leave here?
Yeah, I was quite disappointed still. I didn't think the gym was as packed as it could have been. Still some open seats that, could have been filled up. Tamika's been unbelievable and amazing to this city. She's a person that gives her heart and soul and everything. And, 16 years, man, this guy's in the NBA, they can't do that. But it is a legacy that, I want to fulfill. One of the biggest reasons that I really did change my number was for Tamika. He could only be 124 in Indy, and she deserves that. So it just, goes to show how much respect I have for her. Huh? I'm going for 20. Don't quote me on that, though. Huh?